Go.
All right, welcome back, everybody, on another episode of the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr. Hernia, aka always Hernie, stash stays Hernie. Hey, man, I think this episode is gonna be pretty one of those good ones.
Sir.
I wish I had a hammer and Hearn had the nail because I've been hitting the nail or the hammer on the nail or the nail on the hammer, whichever way you want to say it.
We'll
I've
work
been
on
on
that,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on
Um.
that one. Hey, actually, real
Yeah.
quick before we get cracking off, I just want to say special shout out to everybody because this is the 44th episode of the 44 Pod, baby. So,
Yeah.
Rigo
Let's
loves to have those
go.
little moments, baby. So, shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
everybody. 44 of these. Kind of crazy thinking about it. Like, we basically started around this time last year. I think it was like in August, like officially we started,
yeah,
but the idea has
yep,
been there forever. And then this time last year, we kind of talked about, oh, like, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it? And then we finally just did it. So, yeah, kind of
yeah,
crazy.
man. Finally got it all going, got it cracking. Especially because, like, obviously, like me and her and our distance. Like, we used to be, we're so used to like seeing each other, being in the same spot and everything like that. And
Yeah,
then, like me moving away and stuff, we weren't really having that
I will
time
say,
together. Obviously,
I will say, like the beginning was a lot harder than it is now. And I don't know if I think it's because more like Rigo's a lot more settled where he is now, like versus like where he was at. Like this motherfucker is on the go like all the fucking time. So finding that time to like make shit happen was a lot tougher. So I feel like Rigo moving to Alaska has been
it's a
good for
dub.
everybody for the most
Love
part.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking love it here,
Um,
bro. Fucking love it.
but yeah, let's get into it, big dog, because obviously we had a huge UFC event go on. I know everyone wants to know what we've been up to lately. We'll get to that later because we got to talk about the fucking Mac. We got to talk about UFC 329, your boy, Max Holloway,
Yup.
McGregor, the main event. Some call it the biggest fight of 2026. And unfortunately, we didn't get to really see it. I mean, we got to see their entrances, I guess. So shout out to that. But like, we didn't get to really see shit. So I guess obviously your thoughts on the fight. Obviously, it didn't go the way anyone wanted, but just
Um.
briefly kind of talk about that.
Yeah, fucking. Obviously, it was a very anticipated fight for McGregor. It was his first fight back in 5 years, and then fighting against Max Holloway. Max Holloway looking to get his revenge back on McGregor. So yeah, the build up was pretty good. The fans, everybody was super excited to see McGregor back in the ring, the octagon, get it fucking hands on. Shit was about to get cracking. And right away, shit was weird. Seeing McGregor come out with a fucking like a leg kick, I was like, when the fuck has he ever done that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I seen that, I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then he fell, right? And then he threw another one. That's when he fell again. And then obviously,
Yeah,
it is what it is. And it came out that on the first kick, he fucking busted his shit. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, like, why would you come out leg swinging? Like, I don't know. The way he came out about his entrance. I don't want to say the entrance, but like the fight and everything was like super weird. And ultimately, obviously, he lost or whatever by
yeah,
like TKO, even though he blew his
it is.
fucking knee out.
Yeah,
Uh, I wish they would have like he would have been fine and to like actually see them fight because that shit was kind of stupid. I'm not gonna hold you. However, the fights I would say this is probably one of the better UFC cards that I've seen in a really long time. And like not saying UFC 250 wasn't a great card, but the fights on UFC 250 versus the fights that were on this one, very entertaining. Not a letdown whatsoever. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know that my opinion, but um, yeah, McGregor's fight was a bust. Patty's fight was awesome. Green, my boy, he fucking won, dude. Shout out to him, dude. It was really nice to see some like you're up there in age. You go out there, deuce it out. Look, thought you were gonna get knocked out. Rallied up, fucking knocked him out. And then our fucking the other dude, the Olympic dude, I forgot his name. Um, what's his name, man? I don't fucking
Gable
remember.
Stevenson.
Gable Stevenson, dude. For a second there, I thought he was gonna get knocked out. Rallied up, fucking ended up winning that fight, dude. It was a
Yeah.
good card, great time. I was at the crib with the wife. I had a few fucking orchards. And chilling, dude. It was a great time. And so that's all I got. But what'd you think, Hearn?
Yeah, I think obviously like the main event. I mean, obviously it's a huge letdown. I think anytime like a fight like that, like you could take McGregor out of it and say it was just another, let's say it's Gaethje and Holloway. Like no one wants to see any fight kind of end like that. So I think obviously it was disappointing. I actually liked the strategy for McGregor. I think like McGregor's best when we don't know what the fuck's coming. So I like that he kind of was being a little out there. I think he had a chip on his shoulder. Like he had a lot to prove. I think to himself and to everybody else. Like, hey, I've been away for 5 years, but I think he was trying to show like, hey, like I can still bang. Unfortunately, he landed awkwardly, and what happened happened. Yeah, I think obviously the co-main Paddy Pimblett and Benoit Saint Denis, fucking electric, and Paddy getting the
Yeah,
finish the way he did was fucking awesome for sure.
that shit
I
was sick,
that card for sure, top to bottom. I really think, honestly, I think the last three events they've had have been really fucking good. I think
dude. I'm telling you, bro.
Freedom
That was
250 was really
like,
good. 328, that was the one with Strickland, Sean Strickland, and what's his name, Kamzat. So I think,
yep,
yeah, I think the last three have been really good. But yeah, this card overall, top to bottom, is really good. Obviously, as you guys know, I thought Tack McKinley was gonna win. That fight was electric, so I'm happy for King Bobby or King Green.
yeah,
I think
fucking awesome.
couldn't the fact that they're hanging out after should tell you like how they are. Like I mean, obviously they're pretty cool with each other. So, um, but yeah, and then yeah, your boy Gable pulled it out, got the KO.
Yo,
Um, this weekend, we have another UFC card. It's kind of a big one, Rigo. Do you know who's on that?
I honestly have not looked. Cause like honestly, I didn't plan on watching anything this weekend because um, I was gonna go on another fishing retreat tomorrow. That's why
Okay.
we're recording today, guys, on Thursday. Today's Thursday, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna go fishing for a couple, like all weekend again. Because it's the second run over here to catch sockeye salmon,
Yeah.
and
Oh
so
yeah.
that's what I was gonna do. But the weather's been pretty shitty, so
Ah, it sucks.
uh, things buffered to the left. So let me look at this real quick.
Yeah, it's UFC Oklahoma City, I
You
believe. Pretty big main event, I think. I think, in my
Oklahoma.
opinion.
Okay, let me see. It says there's no scheduled UFC event going on.
Oh, maybe it's next weekend then, but it's a pretty big one. Um, I just don't remember off the top of my head. I just know it's in Oklahoma. Uh, but yeah, I think UFC, like Uncle Dana's got it all figured out at the moment. I think he's batting. I mean, with the McGregor stuff aside, I think he's batting 1,000. Like he hasn't missed yet. Um, I guess
Yeah.
that leads me to ask you,
Oh,
Rigo.
I see it.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's with Duplessis versus Usman. Is
Okay, that's next
that
week
what you're
then.
talking about? 'Cause that's
Yeah,
Oklahoma City. Yeah.
next week or next Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't like Kamaru Usman. I'm not gonna hold you. Not a
yeah,
fan.
Rigo used to call him Snoozman all the time too when he was a champ. So, um, but I guess like
Yeah.
this fight obviously happened. It is what it is. I guess that leads me to ask you, Rigo. Like, and I think we kind of briefly talked about it. What's next for Connor? Obviously, he's come out and said that number one, there was no injury before the fight, which I think people are kind of still finding hard to believe. And obviously, he had a lot of incentive to not tell the truth. He's made $30 million on that fight. So win, lose or draw, he's made 30 m's. But yeah, I think that leads me to
Yep.
ask you, Rigo, what's next? Like, does he come back? And if he does come back, who's it against? If
No.
yeah, I mean we're over a
No.
year out to find that
No.
out. But yeah, so what's next for him?
Dude, honestly, he's up there in age, like really up there in age. I think he's 38 now. Um, he's had two back-to-back major injuries. Um, and so If I were him, you made 30 M's, you made 100 mil off of the fucking Mayweather fight, and you made quite a bit of fucking money over the time. I mean, you're in movies now. If I were him, I'd pivot to acting. Um,
Fair.
Stick with the movie branch. He made that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, the fight movie, or whatever. It was pretty good. You know, it's cool. Um, but yeah, man, if I was Connor, dude, just hang it up. You're way past your prime. That 5 year hiatus really took a lot out of you. Doing all the drugs you were doing, and doing whatever you was doing, clubbing, partying, taking it up. But yeah, dude, I think it's time just to just kiss it goodbye, man, because it's kind of embarrassing now at this point. I mean, you broke your leg against Dustin Poirier, had a rematch, got knocked out and lost, or whatever, and then lost to Max Holloway. So yeah, I think it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's gonna come back. I think he does have one more fight technically under contract. I think he's just gonna try to fulfill the contract. If I was him, I agree. I think I would just hang it up. But obviously, I think he's been adamant that he's gonna come back. And I feel like, I mean, realistically, you could put anybody against him, and I think it's gonna be somewhat of a big fight. I don't know if he's going to be on a pay-per-view or I guess they don't have pay-per-views, but I don't know if he's going to be on a numbered event. I can see him doing like a fight night, like Ireland or something, or fight night Dublin or something like that, and then throw him on there in the main event against somebody. But
Yeah,
like him and Michael Chandler main event, UFC Dublin or some shit like that. I can see something like that happening, but yeah, just
yeah, I can
tough.
see that.
I just think it's tough, and like I said, he's under contract, so and obviously the UFC's not gonna like just void the contract unless he just comes out and retires. But um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean
yeah.
he's doing good. He just I think like I've seen on his story like he's just been pushing his. I think he has an energy drink now or something like that. He's got some type of drink because I see it
I
like it's
mean,
literally
like I
all
said,
over his story.
he's chilling.
So
He's fucking chilling.
yeah,
He's
so like I
chilling, bro.
think when you look at it from that perspective, like yeah, obviously he doesn't need the money. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. Obviously, at least I will say the good news is that it is a different leg. It wasn't the same leg he broke. So I mean, there is that. But um, yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm sure he'll update us
Yeah.
pretty heavily. But yeah, we can move on to the next thing if you'd like, Rio.
Low key, he's like RG3, bro.
Yeah, damn near, damn near.
Yeah. Yeah, let's pivot here, guys. Um so recently the NFL Top 100 came out. Top 10 quarterbacks and stuff like that have come out on Fox Network, ESPN, and the commissioner, the scouts and all that stuff, right? And let me tell you, all you Baltimore Raven fucking fans, Lamar Jackson Glazers, the Lamar Jackson Batmans at night that stay up and look for anybody that has anything bad to say or negative or the truth. 'Cause I believe it's the fucking truth about Lamar
Mm,
Jackson. You come to his fucking defense. But let me fucking tell you, there was a podcast that came out, I believe on Tuesday or
yeah,
Monday, on
I
the
think you sent
Speakeasy.
that clip you sent me was like Monday or Tuesday.
On the Speakeasy by former players and these other guys that do podcasts, right? Boy, did they say everything that I've already been saying for the past year and a half. And when I said it, people thought I was fucking crazy. This guy's losing his mind. His takes are terrible. I got roasted. I got the hate of a century. And boy, are the people starting to look at it the way I've been saying it. Man, I'm not going to hold you. I don't know bar for bar what they exactly said because I fucking, it's a couple of days ago and a lot has happened from that point. But pretty much they said Lamar is a fucking bust. He does not show up in the playoffs. And that's what fucking matters. been in the league for 8 years, coming on 9. And they said if you haven't made the Super Bowl in 9 years, you're not gonna make it. Unless you're an outlier like Matthew Stafford and get traded somewhere and win the Super Bowl. Right? Pretty much, from what I
As
can
a guy that
remember,
doesn't know
was
much
they
about
were also
quarterbacks,
saying that
my
Lamar
team's never had
Jackson
a
just
true quarterback since Derek Carr, and then before that, since Rich Gannon.
let me
So,
actually pull the clip up. So I'm not gonna over
it's
here
kind of
start
hard for me to
guessing.
have a take
But
on a
as
QB
I'm pulling this
because
clip up,
I'll
Hearn,
take
do you have
anybody.
anything to say about it?
I will say though, like the top 100 is voted on by the players, so the fact that he went from 2 to 67, I think is kind of crazy. Like I get, obviously he was 69, well 67 spots then. So regardless, like I feel like that's kind of wild. The fact that you thought the year before he was the second best player, and the fact he missed games, like he dropped 67 spots. I don't really get that, but
69.
I mean it's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's pretty much it for me. Like like I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, yeah, like my main thing, right? And I gotta preface this because people are gonna be like, well, this and well, that MVP's this MVP. Okay, I'm gonna specifically speak just about playoffs and playoff wins, right? And people say, yo, they've been saying Lamar Jackson is the most electric quarterback that we've seen since Michael Vick, right? Or he's super fucking talented and he can do all these sort of things and whoop de whoop whoop shit, right? And he's electric during the regular season, right? The regular season, there's no doubt about it. Lamar Jackson lights it up. But when it matters the most, which is the postseason in the playoffs, is mind you, he's been in the league 8 years. He's only won one playoff game and made it to the second round or second playoff game, whatever. And it wasn't until last year he did that, right? And that was year 7. And they're gonna be like, well, he doesn't have the coach. Well, you have a Super Bowl winning head coach. You had a great defense. You had a really good coordinator, right? And you have Derrick Henry. And even before that, you had some fucking ballers around, right? And he still couldn't get it done. And so my thing is like, okay, like I told you, Lamar Jackson is not a good quarterback. And we're like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, if you can't win fucking playoff games, it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, right? Because at the end of the day, like your single accolades, like MVPs, because he's won 2, it doesn't really fucking matter, right? Because at the end of the day, what do fans want and what do players want is a Super Bowl championship, right? And if you can't do that, it doesn't matter what you do, in my opinion,
No, I
right? Because
agree.
I think
I
that's what
think
matters the
like,
most.
and I,
And
I
people are
think
gonna
like
argue,
for
well,
me,
my
like your
quarterback
thoughts
has won
on like
fucking 5
quarterbacks, like
MVPs. Cool.
I find the same
He's
thing
won five
for
MVPs, and
coaches.
what?
Like I don't give a
Shouldn't
shit
that mean
that you're coach of
that
the
he should
year
win
or
you a
that you
Super
led a
Bowl?
team because they were,
Right? Or am I wrong,
you
Hearn?
led a team to playoffs or the Super Bowl. Like if you didn't win it, I could care less. Like um, I think that's the most important. At least if it was me, like I'd play for championships. That's just how I am. Like that's how I would operate if I was a player, if I was a coach at the highest level. So all the individual accolades are great. They're cool to have on the shelf, but at the end of the day, it's a results oriented business, and at some point, you're going to be held accountable for the results you have, good or bad. Um, but yeah, I think Lamar Jackson specifically, I think his story would be a little bit different if he was in the NFC. Like if he was drafted by an NFC team and had to go through the NFC versus where he's at. It just so happens like he got put early on in his career, like, um, he's going against I think Brady was still around and with the Patriots still. And then obviously you got Mahomes and like you just got quarterbacks up the ass over there. So kind of drew the short straw with that one. But at the end of the day, excuses are like assholes. We all got them. And yeah, like it, it is what it is. You got to produce,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. But just to kind of hit it a little bit more in depth, people like I'm not a Lamar hater. I just don't like the Lamar glaze that people give him as far as like, yo, he's the best woo woo shit. And my thing is like, okay, if he's so fucking good, why hasn't he won a Super Bowl in 8 years? Right? He's won two MVPs but couldn't win a Super Bowl. Right? That's my main thing of why I have so much like I would say I push back so much on the Lamar um glaze of it. Like yes, like and I think I said it on the previous pods too, is like I think Lamar Jackson's athleticism is super good. He's super athletic as a quarterback. He can run and whatever he can do, right? But as far as like a ball thrower at the quarterback position, do I think he's the most accurate? No, I don't. And yes, has he had some good seasons where he had like over about like 70% completion rate? Cool, but that fucking doesn't really mean anything if you can't be consistent. Um, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I again as a Niner fan too, like I feel the same way about my quarterback and my head coach. I'm like Kyle Shanahan can do so much with Brock Purdy, and stuff like that. Yes, he's won playoff games or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm as a fan and whatever, I'm not satisfied with just winning playoff games and going to the Super Bowl. Like you need to fucking win at the end of the day. Like you need to fucking win. Bottom line, point blank period for any team in the NFL, all 32 teams. If you don't go and win a Super Bowl, then what are you really playing for? Like you playing for fucking Pro Bowls? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it just I
Yeah, I
think it's a
think
little ridiculous
I
when
think
people try to give all this credit to Lamar
I
Jackson and what
see
he's
to
able
me
to do
like
and stuff.
that's like I get
Cool,
kind of like
but
pissed off, not pissed
he's
off,
only won
but
one playoff
I
game.
feel like okay, so your Lamar
Um,
take, great,
so
love it.
yeah, that
The
doesn't
part
really
that
do
like I get
much.
irritated with is like when guys start talking about
Same thing
Josh
for
Allen, and it's
Josh
like, oh
Allen.
yeah,
I mean, Josh Allen was
I
number
think he's the
one,
best
and
QB in the NFL. It's like why? And it's like, oh, he does this, this, and this. It's like, well, he has he won a Super Bowl? No. Then how could like to me like I think there's got to be prerequisites before you're crowned like the best. To me, when someone says, oh, they're the best QB or the best blank in the NFL, I think there has to be more than just like what a piece of paper says or what the eye test says. I think you got to have some hardware behind you to back it up. So um, I feel like a lot of people kind of pick and choose their fights. They'll say like, oh, Lamar Jackson, you know, terrible or not terrible quarterback, but oh, he's not a good quarterback or whatever you want to say, right? And then a guy that like Josh Allen, for example, kind of the same mold, right? He's an MVP. He hasn't got done in the playoffs. I, last time I checked, he hasn't been in the Super Bowl at all, right? So he's been the same amount of Super Bowls as Lamar. Uh, but people will glaze the shit out of him, and then like they'll blame everybody else around, just like Lamar, So I feel like people got to start, especially quarterbacks. Like, I feel like we kind of like
yeah,
prop them up, especially early
hell
on. Like
no,
if they have any success and they're a young guy, everyone immediately like puts a rocket to them and boosts them up and boosts them up. And then when they start not living up to where we boosted them up at, we start calling them a bust, or we start calling them like, oh, they're overrated or whatever descriptor you want to use. I think we just need to go back to just let these guys ball out. And then when they get to year 10 of their career and they're still in the NFL and they're playing at a high level, then you can start having those discussions. Um, but that's just me. Like I just feel like a lot of people like to pick and choose um, on quarterback. And I'm not saying Rigo's doing that either. I don't want that to be misconstrued. Like Rigo's not picking on Lamar, it's to pick on Lamar. Um, but yeah, I just feel like overall, like from just a very across the board perspective. Like, I feel like a lot of people pick and choose. Um, and I feel like just hold them all accountable, hold them all to the same standard. Like, if you think in order for you to be a good quarterback or a great quarterback in the NFL, you got to have a Super Bowl or at least an appearance. Um, and then obviously statistically, you got to have, can't have shit stats. Fair enough. Like, um, but yeah, that's just kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, please.
Yeah. Yeah, man. A lot of people are obviously gonna disagree with us, and that's totally fucking fine. I want you to disagree with me, but my thing is always gonna be: has your quarterback won a Super Bowl? Has your team won a Super Bowl? Like me personally, if you're gonna ask me like what quarterbacks do I think are the best
Fair.
quarterbacks right now, based off what they've done in the
Yeah, I
last
mean
five
that's fair.
years,
I
it's
don't
gonna go
think,
Patrick
like I
Mahomes
said,
number
you're
one.
not gonna get an argument out of
I would
me.
say
Like I
Matthew
think,
Stafford number two, and Jalen
like I
Hurts
said, if
number
you have
three.
like a set standard, like
Because you know what they all have in common?
Rigo's made it
A
perfectly
fucking
clear what
Super
his
Bowl.
standard is. Like, and for Rigo, it's a team
That's
sport,
just my opinion.
and it is right. Obviously, it is, but like for Rigo,
Yeah.
like winning a Super Bowl matters. Um, and I guess like since we're talking about QBs, like I saw something today, like, and it's funny because for those of you that don't know, like I fuck with my guy Coach JB. I usually repost this shit on Instagram all the time. But this doesn't have to. Well, it does have to do with him. But Coach John Gruden, he's with Barstool, and he came out I think today or yesterday on a video, and he was talking about he thinks like the quarterback position's devolved, and it's just not as good as it used to be. And the reason why I brought up Coach JB is because that dude's been saying that for like the last 3 to 4 years, and everyone just kind of tells him like, oh, like he's bullshit, and it's just like with Rigo right now, right? Like Rigo just like was talking about what Acho and all them said about Lamar. It's the same shit he's been saying. So, but yeah, I guess for me, Rigo, like, do you agree that the position's devolved? And when I say devolved, I don't really mean like I think athletically speaking, yes, this is the greatest uh, we've ever seen from quarterbacks across the board. Like this is the most athletic quarterback. We got a bunch of freaks like Caleb Williams and Josh Allen, right? We got a bunch of athletes and a bunch of great quarterbacks in that perspective. But when they're saying like the positions devolved, like they're talking about like a lot of these quarterbacks, especially in the college level, like they don't make checks, they don't call out pass protections. Like there's just not a whole lot that they're doing, right? Like it's all the system takes care of everything. There's just a lot of shit that's not put in their hands anymore as much as it used to be. Um, do you agree with that, or do you feel like they're? But I guess we'll just say Gruden. Like, do you feel like Gruden's undervaluing uh, these guys as athletes, and like, it's not like not everyone can be what these guys are doing from an athletic perspective.
Um, I would say I would agree. Yeah, I think the NFL has evolved it in a way where it's a lot more first, like
Yeah,
quarterback friendly, 100%, and then also in the way of like, yo, we are trying to make it as easy and simple as it can be for quarterbacks to make plays. Like, I mean, like you got the
yeah,
fucking stereo shit inside their helmets, right? Like like the coordinators talking to the quarterback, giving them plays instead of before it's like, hey, like we're gonna tell you to play on the sideline or whatever happens, you kind of just gotta um, go from there. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, there's a quite a bit of things that have been going on in the league, and especially I think the other thing too is like quarterbacks realize like I think at least for the college level, like if or in order for them to get drafted at really high, they all feel like yo like I gotta have like a signature play
yeah,
where I gotta do something really fucking crazy, and I'm like yo I'm put on the map instead of taking it back to the time where like it was simple in the sense of like yo just be a good pocket passer and be able to deliver the ball when it needs to be delivered and to whom it needs to be delivered to, right? And I would say their spectacular play is when it was off scripted. Like, hey, the guy that they were intending to throw it to was covered. So I found somebody that, happened to be open last second. I made the throw. You know what I'm saying? Like, those I feel like where they're more spectacular plays at the early 2000s. Now it's like, yo, I gotta run around and do all kinds of crazy shit and just randomly throw the ball like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels do now, right? Same thing with Lamar. Like Lamar's like, yo, I'm gonna just fucking scramble and go for 80 yards or 60, whatever the case may be. And yeah, and that's why it goes back to the take is like a lot of these quarterbacks are not really that great of pocket passers. And I think quarterbacks that are pocket passers, like I think a really good example, I think, would be Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, um, and a few other guys that I can't really think about on top of my head that like really own what they are. Oh, Brock Purdy too, right? A little bit of him. That like, hey, I'm not afraid to stay in the pocket, and Sam Darnold, to make these throws, that are like more of like a check down, like, hey, I'll throw it 20 yards, but my guy's gonna get a first down every time. You know what I mean? I think those sort of quarterbacks get a lot of hate because a lot of people in our time now watching these quarterbacks like, yo, I need to see something super fucking crazy and stuff like that. In some cases, it works, and a lot of the times it really doesn't, and your team doesn't really end up winning the game because you're relying on these super crazy passes. And I would say, like Patrick Mahomes, I think Patrick Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks that really relies on that crazy play for his team
Yeah,
to
I
get a
just
first
think
down.
I agree. I think
And like I said,
and
like
obviously
sometimes it works
like
and
for
sometimes it
perspective,
doesn't. But
I've
in Patrick
never
Mahomes'
claimed to be a
case,
QB guy.
it has worked.
I've never
You know what I mean?
I never
So yeah,
played the
I couldn't
position at a
agree any
high
more
level or
about the
even at high
that
school or
take
anything
that
like
Gruden
that.
said,
Never
and your
coached
coach AP
quarterbacks,
has been
so
saying.
um my opinion should be very small. Or you guys shouldn't take my word as gospel, right? Just take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like the other problem too is just like we're so impatient, and not only as like obviously as fans and stuff. I think everyone's impatient. Like we got to win now. I think that's everyone's mentality. Especially, I can speak for Raider fans. Fuckers say that we're gonna go to the Super Bowl every year. We haven't sniffed a fucking playoff. I think a lot of people like it's just like gimme, 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 and like I just want instant gratification. Just kind of like it doesn't help like with our with cell
Yeah.
phones and all that stuff, and that's more of like a societal thing. But um, yeah, I feel like everyone's trying to get the answer now. Like we got to have it now. We got to have the guy now. He's got to play right away. You drafted him number 2. He's got to play right away. Like perfect example. Obviously we don't know with Mendoza, so I don't want to use him. But like when the Niners traded up for Trey Lance, instantly everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's got to play. He's got to play." Like you traded 3 first. This guy's got to play, right? And so there was this build up of like, "Hey, like when's he gonna play? When's he gonna play? When's he gonna play?" And they already had a guy, right? Jimmy G was on the roster. He just got was that was the year before Super Bowl, right? Or was that year that he something like that? Whatever it was, right? It was around the time he had just went, or he was that year he went, whatever it might be. Um, but yeah, it was like, hey, like this guy just took us to the promised land, like
Yeah.
the year before, or however long it was. I think it was 2 years before, whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
But we
and
also
so like there was just this weird like tension that I don't think
fuck. I
they had as
remember.
players with each other, but I think just from our outside perspective, like there was just this divide in the fan base, and like there's no need for that. Like just there's got to be there's a plan. Like you got to have faith that the plan's going to be executed flawlessly, and there's no need to add unintended pressure or like extra pressure on these guys. Um, but yeah, like there's just I don't think there's any development. Like I think at the college level, I think these guys are on short leashes. I think it's a little bit better now because there's a big there's a big playoff. It's not like how it used to be where 6 teams or there's 6 bowls, and that means there's 12 teams that get into these big prestigious bowls, and if you don't get into it, you're fucked. And I think it's kind of the same thing now. Like they got the playoff and the NIL and all this other bullshit going on. And so now there's this like, oh shit, like I gotta get this guy going, right? And so instead of developing the guy and letting him sit or whatever it might be, it's like, hey, you gotta play now. You gotta play now. You gotta play now. And then these guys get to the NFL and there's a bunch of shit that they're not good at, and it's because they weren't developed. And then at the NFL level, it's like, well, fuck, like we're drafting top 3 years in a row. Like, we got to get out of the basement here. So this guy's got to fucking play. Um, so yeah, I think that's kind of the root of the issue. And it just so happens it's starting to appear at the quarterback position, which is like obviously the most important position in football. So I think that's becoming more of a like, oh shit kind of thing. But I think this has
Yeah.
been happening for a while, like especially you look at the offensive line, and I know no one likes to talk about the linemen, so I won't talk very long. But like you look at across just the NFL, let's look at the NFL, and we won't even look at all other. We'll just look at offensive tackle. The best offensive tackles I think in the league,
Yeah.
I'd say most of them, if not all of them, I think besides like Penei Sewell and a couple other guys, they're all over 30. Right, like Trent Williams, that guy's almost 40, and he's still regarded as a freak, one of the best offensive linemen in the league. Lane Johnson, same thing. He's almost 40. When Jason Kelsey was still in the league, like he was regarded as a great center. He was almost 40. So like I think there's like this trend of like we're just pushing these guys through college basically and
Yeah.
not doing anything to help them. And so when they get to the league, like they start developing. By the time they start developing, it's like, oh shit, they're almost 30. You know, like it's just this constant cycle of push, 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 push. And then now we're gonna start seeing. I think probably within the next 3 to 5 years, like we're gonna start seeing like some dips in terms of just like uh,
Yeah.
how football looks. In the sense, like it's not gonna look as talented as it used to. Yeah. So, but yeah, yeah. So shout out Gruden, shout out JB. Um, but yeah, let's keep it pushing, Rigo. What do we got?
Talent. I'll say talent. No, I agree. I agree.
Man, that's a scary thought. Yeah, how does that feel
Shit,
as a
dude.
Niner fan? Like, how does that feel?
As far as football, I mean,
Like,
there's
you
rumors that
guys are
Aaron
fucked,
Donald might come
basically.
back. I mean, I wouldn't be fucking surprised anymore if he does. I think the Rams are a fucking stacked ass team. Yeah, stacked team right there, dude. We're fucked.
It's gonna feel that much better. Yeah,
Well,
true.
as a Niner fan, it makes me feel. No, I don't feel like we're fucked. I think it's very exciting because when we beat them, we're gonna be like, oh fuck, the Niners beat the Super Bowl team that's supposed to go to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl. Yeah, so I think it gives us more of the pressure relieved off of us and more pressure put on the Rams to win everything. Because I think at this point, like everyone thinks that the Rams are gonna win based off the trades that they've done to boost their defense and stuff. So yeah, there's no pressure on the Niners. People just think the Niners are going to do what they need to
he
do to
wanted to
win
say the
games.
Raiders
And
so
me
fucking
personally, like
bad.
I
It's
think
not even funny,
every
bro.
year it's go to the Super Bowl and
You guys
win,
see the
or
look on
it
this
was a
guy's
bust that
face,
season. So
man.
my expectations are
Hey,
just a
he
little
was like,
higher
if this would have been somebody else,
than other
bro,
teams
he
that
would have said the
obviously
Raiders so fucking
expect,
fast.
like the
It's not
Browns
even
and stuff like
funny.
that. So just my
Um,
opinion.
yeah, I think obviously, like, I think that makes the Rams that much more dangerous.
I
Adding a
did, but I was
future
like,
Hall of Fame
nah, I
defensive
can't do my
tackle
money
to
on
an
that.
already really good defense, and then
God,
obviously the fact he's gonna be with Myles Garrett, and now teams are gonna have to choose who they're gonna slide to and who they're gonna chip and all that
yeah,
stuff, and um, yeah, but I agree too. I think Rigo's point about like the added expectation, like I think I mentioned this when the first time Myles Garrett was traded was like the expectation is definitely Super Bowl favorite. Um, so anything less than that, it's going to be considered a bust season. And I think with Stafford too, like you got a year or two probably of him being elite to really, really good left. So you can't like let those years go to waste. So yeah, I think like Rigo said, the pressure's on, and they're not in an easy division. Like I think that's kind of the part that people forget. Like I know Seattle kind of lost some guys, and like they just won the Super Bowl. I understand like you're gonna have like that Super Bowl hangover and all that, but I don't
yeah,
expect them to like fall off the face of the earth and just be some shit team. So that team's really good. I think the Niners. I think like we always say every year, like if they stay healthy, they're gonna be a really good team. And even the Cardinals. I know. I don't. I know Jacoby Brissett don't show up to practice, but I mean, hey, like let Carson Beck sling it. And I mean, they got a really good offense. Like they have pieces over there, so it's not like
Yeah.
the team's shit. So, um, yeah, I think that's gonna be just. We'll see if he actually comes out or not. I think that's kind of the thing. Like I could see him coming out in the middle of the season, like kind of like some other guys have done in the past couple years. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect him to come out of retirement early on. Um, so that'll give us an idea of what this Rams team looks like without him. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of actually I do have one today.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody today.
Yeah.
I was talking
100%.
to the boys today. I practiced today.
Uh, do you got any more
Um,
takes today, Herno?
and I have a question for you, Rigo. I know you're not. I know you've in the past, right? Years past, you dabbled into some cereal. I know you used to like cereal every here and there. Um, but I guess my question to you is like, if you poured a bowl of cereal and you didn't check the fridge before you opened the fridge, and you're gonna reach for your fucking soy Fuju milk or whatever you drink now. No, I'm just kidding. But you go to get your milk or whatever, and the
Yeah.
motherfucker's empty. What are you doing with the cereal? All right, that's interesting. Probably not, right? Yeah.
I'm leaving that shit in the bowl and I'm gonna go get some fucking milk. But am I gonna come back and eat cereal? Probably not,
That's
because
great. That's funny.
I probably
One
probably
of the
figured something else
guys
out that I
said he
wanted to
said
eat now. So
he's like,
yeah,
Coach.
but
He's
am I
like,
going to the store to get milk?
because
Yes.
we're
But
doing a drill,
am I
right?
coming back
And
and eating
I was
cereal?
telling this one kid, I go,
Probably
hey,
not, because
you gotta
I
get angry. You
probably
gotta get
bought
like you
food
seen
on
the
my way
dodge. You
home.
guys have seen dodgeball where he's like,
So yeah,
Patches is like, you gotta get mean. You gotta get angry. Basically said the same thing to this kid, right? And I'm like, hey, you gotta get me like anything makes you mad. And this other kid's like, oh, coach, he's like, I get so mad when I pour myself a bowl of cereal and there's no milk. I just start laughing because I'm like, that shouldn't make you mad, dog. But I was like, what do you
oh
do with the
yeah,
cereal? He's like, I'll just open the bag and just pour the shit back in. And I
yeah,
was like, fuck. And they like, when I was growing up, that's not an option. That was never, that wasn't on the choices. Like, it was like Friday, like, you gotta put some water in that damn shit. Like, that was the option for when I was growing up, or you eat it dry. So I was just curious. I guess nowadays as an adult, it's a little bit different because you got, free will to do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm with you, dude. I think I'd leave the bowl and then go get the milk. And if I find something else to eat, I find something else to eat, and the bowl can wait till the next day. But I just thought it was funny that he's like that. The fact that we're doing something where like, and it wasn't a
yeah,
hard drill. Like it's just it's like a hip extension drill, like off the sled. So you're just like on your knees and you fire your hands out and you explode through the bag and you fall on your stomach. And when I said like do something that
yep.
make like think of something that make you mad, and the kid said, "I got no milk for my cereal." I was like, "Dog, like life must be fucking good." Then like this guy's got no cares in the world. Uh, life is fucking good, but um. Yeah, I guess before, and then the other thing too, like obviously we didn't get to catch up before this started,
That's
Rigo. But
so yeah.
um, what's been going on with you last week, man?
Cause they're
Been
all
busy or
fucking
what?
made, dude.
Oh, let's go. Yeah,
Super busy, buddy. Yesterday, well, before I even get into that,
that
Perfun's dropping
Pacific
tomorrow. Got a new T-shirt up on there.
1 o'clock Alaskan.
So be ready
Sure.
to cop that. It will be available. I might have the site active
E.
with this shirt, um, active around 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
So be tuned in for that. Perfon launching again. Stay tuned. Super pumped for that.
How'd that go?
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. 1 o'clock Alaskan, so 2 o'clock over there for you guys. So yeah, I picked up all the shirts. They're good to go.
Ah,
So I got that
That's
going on,
tough.
and then also I jumped yesterday. Um, that was a really fun jump. It was great,
Let
dude.
me ask you.
The only downside of
Obviously,
that was when I
obviously,
landed. The winds
I
were pretty high,
I'll
so
have
when I
no.
landed,
I'll never jump.
I got dragged about 50
But
feet. Kind of scratched my neck, as you can see.
would you say
The
would you rather have the
fucking
scratched up
the
neck or like the sore leg like you've had
Yeah,
in
shit. I
previously,
flipped
like where
over and
you're like
shit,
you
and the
said, like,
fucking
you know,
cables got
you
stuck in
landed
my
kind of
neck, and the
awkward or whatever. Like I would
um
assume you'd rather have the scratched up neck, right? Ah, damn it. That's tough.
well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, cause I actually got both right now. I got a scratched up
Oh,
neck,
okay.
a sore back, a
Yeah.
little fucked up leg, and an ankle. So they're both pretty shitty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like what more can you expect? Like I said, that the winds were like at I think like a 13 knots. It wasn't too crazy because 13 knots is a jumpable. I believe it's 17 knots where it's like you
Yep.
definitely can't jump, but they will still make you jump, as bad as that sounds. But yeah, it was a good it was a I like, you're gonna be like, yo, how was that a good jump? It was a good jump because I had a great exit. My chute opened up, my sliders came
I would
down, it was
say
perfect, no twist, no
post
nothing.
jump, you listening to you
And
right now, this
it
is by
wasn't until
far
I
your
hit the
best
ground
one
is where it
because
sucked.
I think the
I,
last
I
couple
knew I
times
was
we've
coming
had the
in
pod
hot,
and you talked about
coming
like
in
your
fast,
obviously
and
you
I was
talked
like,
about
oh
your jump.
fuck, boom,
Definitely weren't talking
hit
about
the
it as
ground, dude.
excitedly as you are
That shit
now.
hurt.
So clearly
But
this
it
one
was
went
pretty
a
cool.
lot better than
It's
it
great.
usually does, which is good. Um, but yeah, love to hear it. So just like you said, Perfon's dropping tomorrow, Friday the what is it, the 17th? So Friday the 17th,
Yeah,
2 o'clock,
yeah,
1 o'clock Alaskan, brand new drop.
yeah,
Is there
absolutely, absolutely. 17, 17. Yep, Instagram. Looks like we lost Hearn here for a little bit. But yeah, like I said, Perfon's dropping tomorrow, guys. Friday, July 17th at 1 o'clock. Be tuned in for that. I am your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr. Herney, aka Stays Herney. Uh, Unfortunately, he's not here right now. He lost his connection, but hey, it was a great episode. Love to hear from you guys. Comment on our Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. And we'll be here again next week, baby. Peace.